Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. It's Sunday and we're going to have a little chat. Need to clear the air, say a few things, thank a few people, bring through some light, hopefully. I was going to be going down to the beach today to record this, but it started to rain, so I'm afraid I'm up here in my loft instead. Woke up to the most beautiful crisp frost. It looks so stunning, the white. And yeah, there was snow forecast, but it's turned to rain. I mean, I do live on the south coast, so usually we get the rain. So anyway, just imagine that you're by the sea with me. In fact, being beside the sea, being beside water is very, very healing for us at this moment in time, because it helps us to regulate our thoughts, our breathing, our ideas. Very much like the tide goes in and it goes out, it allows us that opportunity to pause and be still, sometimes maybe before speaking or doing or taking an action that hurts another, damages, spreads negativity, etc. Some of you are very new to my channel, and a very warm welcome to you. We do lots of different things on this channel. Channeling, tarot readings, oracle readings, spiritual teaching, all of it's spiritual teaching really. Working with a number of different guides and helpers. And yeah, I touch on current energies, what's coming up, try to give you steerage, try to bring through some healing and some support and guidance. And I've been on here since 2012, and it looks like probably we're going to be hitting 100,000 subscribers very soon. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm always humble. I don't take anything for granted. But I feel as though I've tried to do it my way on YouTube. I haven't necessarily followed the rules of others doing similar work. I've just tried to follow my own path, and over the years a number of you have joined me and followed me, and I'm very grateful for that, as well as people that are new. But I think what's been building for quite a long time is the inability within all of us, myself included. I always put myself into the mix when I say this type of thing, to not be able to listen. And I've alluded to why I think that is. I think there is a cultural aspect to it. The fast pace of society, 24-hour, 24/7 news, celebrity culture, you know, little tidbits that we're dropped and we feed on, and then we want the next fix of whatever it is that we need a fix of. Let me just move this. But yeah, I've tried to cover the big things. Can't do all of them, of course, but I've tried to cover most of them. And last week well, it's interesting actually, the last couple of subjects that I've touched on, which is always led by spirit and my own higher self. I always have a filter in terms of, do I really want to talk about a particular subject? Do I really want to face the flack that will come with that? But we've had a look at the Idaho murders, something that I don't normally typically do, but I felt was very needed. And in fact, I probably will do an update on that maybe next week. And over the weekend, of course, I put out the Harry and Meghan video, which I knew would be contentious. Last time I think I read on them, I turned off the comments. But I felt this time as though I wanted to hear what people had to say. I don't like switching off comments. I don't like having to censor in any way. I want to be able to listen to what people say. But when people can't do it respectfully, and with consideration for others on the page and myself, then we do have an issue. And I've actually found the last 48 hours really quite saddening, and makes me really question what I'm doing and whether I want to continue in the form that I've been doing it. As I say, I've been here since 2012, and I suspect that I will carry on, but I don't know whether I'm going to be wanting to keep the comments open. So I'm going to be sitting with that over Christmas. My friend and colleague Steve Judd turned off the comments on all of his videos, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And I know he's never regretted it. I can't speak for him, but I think he said that himself on other videos. But leaving Steve out of it, because obviously he has his own reasons for doing so. I think he just got sick of the flack. But I'm coming at it from my own angle here. And I don't think people fully appreciate the fact that people like me are giving up our free time to sit and record videos, which might entertain you, might teach you, might help you, might support you, but we aren't anybody's whipping boy. And I'm sick of being on the end of it, really. The Harry and Meghan video in particular, what I tried to do was the middle way. And I thought, right, what we'll do is we will have comments from both sides of the debate, because there are both sides of the debate, of course. Put the most respectful ones up. The ones that were very vengeful or hateful didn't get posted, but I had to read it. I had to absorb that energy that you were writing and then transmute it. And that has an effect on me. But what I'm really putting a big red line and boundary line down is when you come at me for being biased, being fake, being a fraud, being a racist, defending colonialism, defending racism. To be honest, it just leaves me completely speechless, because I don't think if you're saying that, you've actually heard a word that I have ever uttered or tried to teach or understood my energy field. I don't know, guys, how we got to this place. And it's been building for a long time in our culture, whereby if you give an opinion or you read on something and intuitively you feel something, so you say it, that's my job, but it doesn't align with what you get, that makes me wrong, a fraud, biased, a charlatan, all the rest of the language that's been thrown at me over the last 48 hours. All it actually means is that I have a different opinion to you. I'm seeing it differently and I have a different perspective. Before I put this video out, I said on Facebook and Instagram, I gave a big thank you to the silent majority that follow my work day in, day out, week in, week out, decade in, decade out. There are some of you that have been with me that long, who sit in the background, who take the teachings if they resonate, listen if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave a video, come back to me in a few months' time or the next one, whatever subject interests you. But don't come at me with the porcupine quills that I was talking about a few weeks ago in another video, which is the poison darts that go in. Now, I'm adept at being able to take them out because I know it's not my stuff. You're projecting your own unhealed wounding onto me. And I did call out in that video what I felt was an attack on British traditions. And I felt it for a while. Take it away from Harry and Meghan and all of that circus. I felt it for quite a while. I'm right to feel that. It's how I truly feel. And I will defend who I am. I'll defend my country. I'll defend the traditions that I like, that I grew up with, that I still hold dear to my heart. And if you have an issue with that, it's your stuff. In the same way that it's mainly coming from USA, I have to say. Hugely it's coming from USA, these poison darts. And I really want you to look at yourself and why you're doing it, why you are doing it. was trying to explain to my husband yesterday about it, and he said, well, why would anybody spend the time doing that? Because the thing is, I often see things online where I'm triggered by people or I don't agree. I never ever become a keyboard warrior that has to vent my poison and dislike and create personal attacks on the person that is on the channel. I just don't get it. I don't get it. How have we come to this place? I've always tried to speak from a place of love. And actually, a lot of the comments that came in on the back of that Harry and Meghan video, it was clear people hadn't even watched the video. They hadn't even had the courtesy to watch the video. They were just coming at me with what they wanted to say about the situation. So it really makes me wonder two things. Number one, do I turn the comments off? Maybe certainly on subjects like this, I just will, because I feel as though I tried my best, guys. I tried to put the comments from both sides, but it's damaged me. And why should I not be able to read on subjects that I want to, just because of the poison that's going to come from others who view it? So it's really with a very sad heart. If I have to turn comments off, I will turn comments off. Because I just don't see how it's manageable. And you might say, well, let somebody else moderate it. Why should somebody else have to sit through that poison? Why should somebody else have to sit through other people's negativity and unhealed wounding? That's not what we do here. So, yeah, comments might be going off. We'll see about it. The other thing to say is that the other option would be to put all of this behind a paywall. You know, there's a lot of people that just don't put this type of material onto YouTube anymore. It's all paid for material on a channel like Patreon. Again, I haven't done that. And I think why I feel wounded by this and why I'm wanting to have the chat today is because I know that I'm coming from my heart with regards to any subject that I touch. I didn't say anything vile. I didn't say anything disrespectful to any party in that video, and I never have done. But I just don't know where to go with this, to be honest. So I'm looking down because I made some notes. So yeah, we could put it behind a paywall, and then the people that really want to see it might watch it, and the others that just want to come and criticise and create drama and aggression won't even see it, or we turn the comments off. But yeah, I'm coming from a place of having a good heart. And I think why I feel so depressed about this today is that I start to think, have we actually inched forward at all as a spiritual community? If we look back to the days of the pandemic and all the division and the separation that was out there with regards to that, and the poison that was on both sides, we've now got another subject, but it could easily be something else we're discussing. And it's as though we just revert to type. And I wonder whether it's linked into almost like a herd mentality type situation. Why can't we think for ourselves, express ourselves politely? We don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with me. But we need to leave the personal attacks out of it. I'm just not having it anymore. I think it's also about getting older. You just get to the point you think, I don't need this. I don't need this. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm having a rant, but I need to get this out because otherwise you're not going to see me again. It's as simple as that. Okay? This is how I truly feel today. The comments that come in, you know, without watching my video, oh, can't you just channel Princess Diana? We want to hear her. I've just given you an hour and a half of my time in terms of what I felt about this situation. And no, I can't just channel Princess Diana like that. And anybody that thinks they can and she's just on tap is probably a fraud. I don't want to label people, probably is. Because Diana's not just up there on the end of a telephone waiting to speak to me every 5 minutes, every time I want to ask her a question. That's not how mediumship works. Plus the fact that even to do that type of work, which I have done in the past and I probably will come back to at some point, is really, really tiring and draining. And it takes days to build up to it, days to come back down from it. And I've got a family. I've still got young girls in my house who need me. The Saturday mornings that I give up, that I spend making videos, is time that I could easily be spending with them. And my greatest fear is that when they're older, they'll look back and say, well, where was mum? She was always up in her room making bloody videos. I don't think they will, because I think they get my path and they get what I'm about and they know this is important to me. But I do feel so strongly that there just should be a degree of respect shown. And the vast majority of you show me that. And I thank you. And I know who you are. But when I see comments from regular followers coming at me for being biased and fraudulent, just because you haven't liked a particular video that I've done, I say to you, the door is over there. Please just leave. Mark Biaski did a very good video about a week ago. I haven't been following all of his videos, so I just haven't got the time. I'm sure he hasn't been watching my videos. I'm sure he hasn't got the time. But one of them landed, and it was a video he did a week ago where he had been attacked for different reasons. Mark sells beautiful crystals. He's gifted me some in the past. From his heart, because he's a good-hearted person. You might not agree with what he says, but he's a good-hearted person like I am. And people had come at him for promoting the crystals that he sells. I mean, people have come at me for promoting my sprays. They're there because they need to be sold, not because we're just trying to get your money and make a profit. And people said to Mark, oh, you're just about that now, aren't you? And he said something along the lines of what I'm trying to really express today, maybe not as articulately, which is that you're only as good as your last video. There's no loyalty shown by a lot of these surface followers. And, you know, nearly about to hit 100k, I'd almost prefer to not hit it if I have to sell my soul to do it, in terms of just pandering and telling people what they want to hear because it's popular. And I've never, ever done that. I've never done that. I've always had flack for going my own way, bringing through what I feel to be true. And I think that's why the vast majority of people have stayed with me, actually have stayed with me. So please, guys, let's just show some respect for people that give up their time for you to be sitting in the first place watching this type of stuff. Because it just makes me wonder how far we've moved on, as I say. Is there anything else that I want to say on this? I've thanked the silent majority. I've thanked the people that get it. Oh yeah, this other thing I wanted to just say at the start. A lot of other people saying, oh, it's really clear you don't like Meghan. I don't have to like Meghan. I'm actually not making a statement whether I do or I don't. The truth is, just because you're a spiritual person doesn't mean you can't have an opinion on people. Okay? We can't all like everybody. It's just la la land to think that we can. So stop trying to say that you can't have an opinion on something just because it might not be your opinion. I wouldn't do that to you. I don't see why you're doing it to me. So there just seems to be this misunderstanding about if you have a problem with somebody, that you're suddenly a bad person. And actually, if we take Meghan, or in fact, let's leave her out of it. Let's use somebody else as an example. You know, let's talk about someone like Trump or Biden or, you know, either of them, okay? Again, two villains in the midst for various people out there. I keep hearing the phrase which Jesus gave, and it's a very old-fashioned word, which is triggering. So I'm going to change the word. Jesus actually said, hate the sin, not the sinner. In my Christ Consciousness deck that we're releasing next year, I've actually changed that language because I know it's sort of old-fashioned language. I think I've said, hate the wrongdoing, not the wrongdoer. And that's how I generally feel about people. I'm calling out behaviour. I'm calling out energy, maybe. But if Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, whoever knocked on my door today, I would invite them in and give them a cup of tea, because that's the type of person I am. But it doesn't mean that I have to approve of everything that they do, and that doesn't make me the bad guy. Right, I've ranted for long enough. Thank you for listening. I needed to get that out. Now that I have got that out, I might come back before Christmas. If I don't, I will be back in the new year. But right now, to the silent majority and to people who are truly loyal and who go with you through the ups and the downs, thank you. It's interesting, isn't it? Metatron, in my December reading, he talked about December being the mountains and the flat bits, you know, the plains. And I've just hit a bit of a dip here. And I've got pretty high boundaries anyway and spiritual protection around me. But some of these poisonous barbs, don't come at me and call me a racist or a colonialist. You know, that's your crap. You deal with it. Okay, thanks very much, everybody. Bye for now. Love you. And I love Great Britain as well. If you have a problem with that, bye. Bye.